This is another episode of the Nano Community Initiatives 3 stories. At this episode 3, we are welcoming our 3 speakers this time in this brand new episode. And we will be showcasing 3 amazing nano related projects. This time, Nautilus project, which is a wallet project, also Redeem for me, and Karma Call. So we are all set. I just sent the speaker's invitation to our guests this day. Welcome, welcome, Adrian. Welcome, Steven. Welcome, Matthew. You can speak now. Welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Hey,
Hi everyone.
good to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. So nice to hear you this day at this morning. Well, basically, we will be uh, following this agenda that is basically a meet and greet moment, which we are now, and then we go with short introductions from you, and then we go forward to the stories conversations. First, we will be speaking with Nautilus project. Then we will be speaking with Redeem for Me project. Then we will be having a activities moment, so we can propose activities to the crowd. And finally, the conversation with Karma Call. After that, we go with a short MAA with the attendance, and yeah, the closing. So, for instance, we could start saying that Nano is a cryptocurrency uh, that is taking its huge steps to adoption, and it showcases three, for saying that way, 3 amazing features that makes Nano unique. It has 0 fees, so it does not cost anything to send Nano. So it's very practical and inclusive for all the world. Nano is also eco-friendly. This is that without relying on mining, printing, or minting, Nano sustains its network as a prospered solution to money. And finally, it has instant payments, so you don't have to wait to use digital currency, as Nano is ready when you are ready. And in this monetary ecosystem, the Nano Community Initiatives 3 stories is a platform for projects and creators from the Nano ecosystem to showcase their projects, their products, and their views into the present and into the future. So this time at this episode 6, we will be again getting to know more 3 amazing projects. So welcome everyone, welcome our attendants that are just coming by, and let's go. I would like to hear from you guys a brief introduction. Maybe we can start with Adrian. Hello, Adrian. You can um, share with us maybe a little bit of yourself, of Karmakal, for getting started.
Hey, thanks, Carlos. What's up, everyone? I'm Adrian. I'm an entrepreneur, an engineer. I really like the space of digital currency with Nano, particularly in that It allowed me to be innovative in the way that I can create financial interactions between people, to do things such as paying you to block a phone spam call, or forcing someone who doesn't know you to give you a deposit before they can call you, and then letting them get that deposit back if the call lasts more than 25 seconds, which is what Karma Call is. And then the other cool thing is that if they give you a 5 cent deposit to call you to ring your phone and you answer that call, don't like it, and you hang up within 25 seconds, you keep their deposit. So that was my solution to spam in phone calls. And I looked around for solutions everywhere for that. Um, that's a brief intro to me. I look for innovation and I love creating things. Nano just lets me be flexible, and I'm here to build in this space. So that's a little bit about me. Thanks.
Excellent. Yeah, that's very interesting. We will be discussing Cormocola a little bit more in the development of this event. And thank you for your introduction. Okay, let's go with Redeem for Me project. Hello, can you please share with us a little introduction about you, about the project, and so? Welcome.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. So I'm Steven or Emilord, and I'm the owner of Reading for Me. I've been in the nano space since 2017. You may know me for other projects, but Reading for Me is something that I've created this year. It's a company that focuses on helping people spend their nano by buying gift cards, and soon enough, airtime for mobile phones, and utility payments. It's something I haven't shared with anyone yet, so I'd like to talk more about it later. But that's the goal of Redeem for Me, basically helping you spending your nano without going through an exchange or whatever, and do stuff of your daily life directly with Nano.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, very interesting. Will we also get more from in later moments? And let's go with Faust or Matthew from Nautilus. Welcome. You can share with us a little introduction about yourself, about your product, your project, your history. Welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey. So I'm excited to be here. I'm Foss, the developer of Nautilus. Um, I I got a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we can get through it all. I've been hard at work preparing for the upcoming event, and I've got both a lot of announcements to make and a a lot to show off at the event, um, because I've just been spending a ton of time preparing. Um, but for those that don't know me, I'd say I'm fairly new to the community, relatively speaking. About a year and a half ago, I was introduced to Nano. I think I was like briefly or vaguely aware of it, but that's when I really started getting into it. And Nautilus for me was a way to really bring features that I felt were crucial and were just missing. And so I have been focused on uh, you know adding the things that I would personally like to use, or the things that I would want um, in a digital currency space, just as a feature set, and that's what I've been focused on.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Foss. Thank you, Matthew, for your brief introduction. That's what we're aiming for breaking that ice that maybe is between people at the community that are maybe kind of new or recent to have been knowing about Nano, or maybe the DAC ecosystems. But yeah, this space and this platform is for us to connect, to network, and to keep getting to know better the amazing projects that you are developing. So I also would like to introduce myself. I am Carlos Murgas. I am an Colombian Nano community ambassador, and I would like to give the moment to our fellow partner Forrest from Nano Foundation, our social media lead that is co-hosting with us this episode. Welcome, Forrest.
Hi, so good to be here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me properly? All right,
All
good.
right. Yeah.
Very happy to be part of this Twitter space, and I know we have some very, very awesome guests. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Forrest Horseman. I'm from the Netherlands. I work as social media lead for the Nano Foundation, and yeah, very happy to be co-hosting this episode. Yeah, sorry I was a bit late. Traveling at the moment, a bit inconvenient, but yeah, very happy to be here and looking forward to hearing from our awesome guests.
Wonderful, Forrest. Thank you for being here and taking the time to be with us in this conversation. We really appreciate it. And okay, that said, we can go to the conversation with our first story this episode, Nautilus. And yeah, and as this is happening to be usual question to every story, why Nautilus? It sounds like a submarine from some story or something like that. Why Nautilus? Is has like a background story, or was just something that came out of your mind one day when you were like looking for a name for your project?
So I actually didn't. Do I sound okay? Did I did I cut out there? So I actually, I'm actually not the person to ask. You'd have to ask Esteban. He came up with the name. Um, so sorry to disappoint that I don't have an answer for you.
No problem. Actually, it was like it was kind of curious for me, like to get to know Nautilus because I like that name. It's a very sound name, I guess. And also the logo is very, the actual logo is very colorful. I really like it. And well, we will go with the next question that might be, what is basically Nautilus? What are the main features of Nautilus?
Yeah. So I have just a quick fun fact about the logo. So the final design, like the one that I handed you, and what you see in the app, is I made in Illustrator, but the concept art was actually generated with OpenAI's DALL-E 2, which is it was really fun to mess around and iterate with, and until I found something that I was happy with. Um, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Yeah, and well, what is basically Nautilus, and maybe what are the main features that you are having with that project?
Yeah. So the I'd say the biggest features that have the biggest user impact are payment requests, end to end encrypted memos and messages, so you don't actually have to send them out with a message. Watch only addresses, so you can watch somebody else's address, or say you have a hardware wallet at home and you want to be able to look at its balance from within Nautilus, you can view it as if you had the private seed, but crucially, it's not actually stored on the device. I'd say those are the biggest features, and then just a whole array of quality of life improvements. So things like timestamps, the ability to search through your transaction history, you know, and just UI improvements just across the board, in my humble opinion. And really just like, improving the user experience. And I want to get it to a point where, I can really hand this to anybody, and they they don't have any questions. They're not confused by anything. That's the goal I'm aiming for. I want it to be, for everyone, because Nano's a global currency, and the idea is it should be as accessible as possible. And then the other great feature that I'm like really excited about, I was excited for developing and excited to see it work, is the gift card feature. So it's an onboarding feature where you load a paper wallet, with a balance, right? And the back end gives you a link that you can then send to anybody. They don't have to already have Nautilus installed. And what's great about it is that they don't have to.
Uh, awful. My net is just having problems right now. Sorry, and we can like again. So sorry with you guys. I'm sorry, folks, that you were saying so amazing stuff, and I just couldn't hear it well. So yeah, let's take it from the point again. Sorry again, and I will give you all the permissions to speak again. Yeah, no problem. So let's keep it this way. I will give you all the speakers and co-host rights. So if my net is having problems, you can sustain the spaces even if I'm not with good connection. So first, sorry, and let me ask you again. So I know that you were saying stuff, right, and you were giving information, but could you please repeat about what are the main features of Nautilus? You were saying that you can now with Nautilus send messages with the transactions. That was like I came to hear at the last moment. It's like some kind of memos,
Mm-hmm.
or about like short messages for the transactions.
Yeah, yeah, and so those are end-to-end encrypted. So they do go through the back end, but since they're encrypted using the public key of the receiver, and the private key of the sender, the back end can't read them. They're unencrypted, only on the receiver's device, which is really great for privacy. And like I'm excited to see more people use it. The what I consider the killer feature of Nautilus, is the gift cards, because it allows you to send Nano to people who don't otherwise aren't even familiar with crypto. As long as they can either scan a QR code or click a link, you can send Nano to them. The and how it works is if you already have Nautilus, it just opens the gift card. It just pops up a message and says, somebody sent this to you, and you can include a message with it, and you press receive, and using the private key of the loaded gift card, it just submits a send to your own account. But if you don't already have Nautilus installed, the link is smart. What it does is it takes note of who you are, and then once you have installed the app, it makes an attribution to clicking that link. I think that's like a raised hand from Adrian. Is that what that is?
Oh, that's very nice, and
Yeah.
I am very pleased to know that you keep adding um, features to the basic send and receive transactions. You are like making it available to people that are more related to gift cards to onboard into the app and get to know better about this digital money. That's very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump in with just a quick brief question there?
Yeah. That's what I was waiting on.
Okay, great. I find the gift card thing super fascinating. Like just really briefly, are you using like a third-party gift card provider for that, or are you sort of doing this manually on your own in the back end there?
Yeah, so that happens through there's a company called branch.io is the website, and they provide an SDK for link attribution, I think is what they call it. And so they do all of the analysis for me, essentially. I could do it myself, but it wouldn't be as reliable.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to ask about it actually, what's the sort of collaboration between Nautilus and then the Nano.2, because I know Nautilus has those usernames built in. I think those are the usernames from Nano.2, right? Those sort of vanity addresses, or not really vanity addresses, but those usernames linked to wallets. So are you just working together in that sense, or is Esteban also one of the developers on Nautilus?
So I'm the only developer working on Nautilus. But as as far as like partnership goes, the Nano.to usernames are just a service that Esteban provides. Essentially, and he's actually I've been talking to him, and he's working on moving the rather than hosting the usernames himself, he's actually moving it to GitHub, and so he coordinated with him to make the transition seamless from the app side. And so what I think he's working on is making like an automated. He's keeping like the checkout system of registering the username the same, but then he's I think he's working on a way to make it push to you like a Git repository that he has GitHub host, and that will be like the record that Nautilus will use. So it'll be completely transparent. What usernames are associated to which addresses. I also don't think that a lot of people know, but Nautilus actually supports both unstoppable domains and Ethereum namespace addresses, although they're not very widely used.
Oh wow, I wasn't even aware of that actually, but that's really cool. And you're also able, if I remember correct, to register a name for like Nano.2
yes.
via Nautilus, right?
Yeah. And I worked with Esteban to make that API exist. I'm actually not sure if it's if the API is documented, but I worked with them to make it happen, because before it was just through the site.
Yeah, I think that's really an awesome feature. And what would you say is the next biggest upcoming feature for Nautilus that you're working on?
That's a I actually just have like a list of things written down, so I might just like rapid fire through a couple of them. So most of these are in various stages of development. So I have here adding a memo to an existing message, server-side caching of memos and requests. So that's like for better reliability of having the messages be delivered. Ability to deny payment requests, and and then the two biggest things, those were relatively minor. Some kind of privacy feature. So right now, if you want to do a private transaction, it's you kind of have to jump through some hoops. There are ways to do it, but it's not very it's not very convenient for the user. There are ways like having every time you receive. I've considered that, but it's not very user friendly. So something that I've come up with is that it's still in the conception phase, but if the user experience, I want it to be as simple as a checkbox that says make this transaction more private, and the implementation that I'm kind of theory crafting is swap to Monero and send from a Monero address to a Monero address, and that increases the privacy a little bit, and then a swap back to an address that you specify. That can be either your destination or it can be your own account, and so it will be a means of breaking the on-chain link of your funds. And the reason why that would be great is because currently it's if you want to trace where some funds came from, it's as simple as looking at Nano Looker basically. And this wouldn't be complete privacy. You would still be able to do analysis to trace funds, but it would make it harder for the everyday person. Which it wouldn't be trivial, if that makes sense. And that's something that I think people would really enjoy and are really missing right now. And then the less direct user facing features that I'm working on are I'm working on a block handoff scheme, which I'll be demoing at the London event. Just come find me. I'll show it off. And then a way to log in, essentially. So a login with Nautilus authentication scheme, which those are both still in the works, but I will have demos for both of them at the event.
Awesome. It's really exciting as well to hear that you're coming to the London event. I'll be there too, so I'll probably see you there then. So that's cool.
I'm having a custom shirt made, so I'll be just look for me with the big Nautilus logo on the back.
Great. I will see you there probably. And as I understand it, then, so this privacy feature would be a sort of a Monero implementation into Nautilus. Then, I understand it correctly?
Yeah, I haven't quite decided. So this would be a bit of an undertaking, and so this is all the details haven't been worked out. But I would either implement a Monero wallet just as a not really user facing, just to facilitate this feature within the app, or it would be some kind of custodial service. But most likely it would be all done within the app.
I see. I see. I have one more quick question. Is there actually some sort of business model in Nautilus?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, sorry about that. Is there actually some sort of business model in Nautilus itself? Because I know you work on it a lot. You know, always implementing a lot of features. So I was kind of wondering about that.
Oh, not currently. Unfortunately, I have not quite figured that one out yet.
Are you sort of planning on that?
Yeah, I've got some ideas. You know, there's like easy solutions like having ads, but obviously I don't want to do that. You know, the big things that I want to avoid are ads and fees, for what I hope are obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. You know, no one or fees, especially with Nano being feeless, right? That's kind of the selling point of using Nano. But I'm sure you're probably able at some point to find some sort of way to implement not fees per se, but some sort of revenue model in there, right?
Oh, I did forget. Mostly because not enough people use it. But there is technically one source of revenue, and it probably will be the main source in the future, which is integrations and like you know, any like percent cut that comes with that. So with the integrated on ramp from OnRamper, I believe I get a 1% cut of any Nano that you buy through the app. And then
That's
through
awesome,
Simplex,
actually.
I don't get anything. But
Yeah, I see. That's a pretty good sort of small revenue model in there, right?
I mean, if it were, you know, up to me, I would keep the you know, just the donation model um, for as long as it's you know, sustainable.
Yeah, I see. I think that's also a nice way to do things, right? But I know that you work a lot on Nautilus, so I was just kind of wondering about that. But yeah, you know, as long as donations can also sustain that, that's great, of course. And Carlos, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I was hearing about the things that you were saying, and I got like two, one talk and one question for first. And the talk is like that it's very useful for nano ecosystem that the projects that are being developed tend to integrate between them. Like if you are thinking in or doing some code to integrate Nano 2 API, and maybe tomorrow thinking in linking with spam block uh, tools and to redeeming for service, and as reading for me is doing. So I think that the integrating with the existing projects can lead to superior products and services. So that's what came to my mind, and I'm very happy for learning about those coming new features. And yeah, I think that Nano, as as it is transparent, it might be better for some kind of users to have a little bit of anonymity and maybe some privacy in their money transactions. So yeah, I think that that's very important. And the question is, as there are many wallet options in the market, and maybe not so much, or maybe not too many wallets at Nano, there are still various options for the user to choose. What do you think, Foss, that it's a key or keys um, aspects of a wallet product that makes user to choose it, like to get high from the competence and look, I am here, choose me, this is better. What would you say that are those things that makes wallets be chosen?
Yeah, so I think this is a pretty easy question to answer, just because I've put a lot of thought into it, as you can probably tell. I think so. Feature set is like the obvious one, right? Like, what features does the wallet support? If you're comparing wallets. But the other thing that is less is the platform. So there's desktop, there's Chrome extensions, and there's mobile, and those are really the only. Oh, and web, if you count that as separate from so like Nalt, if you count that separately from web. And so it really comes down to what are you using the for, and what platform are you on, is going to dictate what features are most important to you. Because if you're doing something like you just have a cold wallet, well then it's important for you to have the ability to access or use a cold storage device, which is another I would say upcoming feature, but it's something I definitely want to add at some point. But there are some barriers in the way to making that happen, at least on iOS. And I don't want to like gatekeep the feature. And so that's another thing that I'm working on. I kind of lost the train of thought that I had, so I'll have to ask you again.
Yeah, it's like, I think that you highlighted a very important thing, that is the platform. Like, of course, if you are having or using a cold storage, you maybe use that for keeping your money. But if you have extra information from what is sending you, or from why people are sending you money, or from or that do, I think that's a very key answer on what you say.
Yeah, and so as a mobile, as primarily a mobile wallet, the focus is really, for me, is real world usage. So all of the features you would expect from things like your banking app or your traditional banking solutions. And so a lot of the features I take inspiration from those types of applications for a lot of the ideas that come through.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that clears my some of the question that I had. Maybe if I got another one, I will raise it. First, if you have any other question you would like to ask us, Nautilus project, another thing.
No, I think a lot of the things that Post has said are very very clear, and I love the app because I've always been using Natrium, and Natrium just lacks certain features, right? And I think Nautilus basically has all those features in it plus more, and I think that's just a really awesome thing. So a big fan of Nautilus in that sense. But no, I don't have any other questions at the moment.
Yeah, none over here.
Well, Adrian.
Sorry, you kind of cutting in and out there. I think you were asking just like, for me. Yeah, I don't have any question. Just Fasa, really appreciate what you're doing in the system. Gonna keep an eye out and see like what you do with the business model, because I kind of want to see how you make money with that, or like if it's just gonna be a free system or whatnot. But yeah, for your thoughts, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to jump into because I've been using Nautilus for a real while now. So I just wanted to thank Foss having the chance to do that directly live. So well, thank you very much for your work, and I'm looking forward for you to implementing that privacy feature you've been talking about. And I think if you go the digital way, it could actually be a way of monetizing it. So, but it's up to you.
Yeah, it's thank you for all of the things. I really love working on it. Like truly, I wouldn't be able to push out all these updates if I didn't really enjoy working on it. And also, just I don't know if it's because of the event or whatever, but like the analytics, like the user growth has been really been picking up. I'm excited to say.
All right. I think Carlos is having some issues with his connection and he's not hearing anything at the moment. But yeah, thank you so much, Fosse, for telling us a bit more about Nautilus. So I think it's a good time to go to the next speaker. But also, just want to ask if there's anyone in the audience, any questions, any of the listeners.
Not for me, but yeah, audience members, just raise the hand. Love to hear from you.
Sorry, I think my connection is also not the greatest. I'm actually traveling at the moment. Not very.
Oh boy. Okay, go again. The good thing is that we can do a lot of edit work and get this part together, and it maybe won't showcase the network issues. Sorry again, guys. I will, after this, hear all the things that I am missing due to these net problems.
No problem. Actually, I guess it cut at the right part because first was doing a transition, but
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. That's the good part of having for it here.
it should be
Very,
seamless
very,
in the
very.
final edit.
Yeah. Well, let's wait for. Okay, here is Adrian. Let's give him speaker invitation. I don't know if it's like my data is like shifting from Wi-Fi to the SIM card. Maybe I but if the Wi-Fi went down, then it's gonna go faster. So let's okay. Okay, let's give it. Let's go. Thank you, Forrest, for the transition, and let's go now with our next history for this episode, which is Redeem for Me. Matthew, welcome again. Mm, yeah, I I think that a good first question will be like, how did you end it, or how did you came with that idea of using Nano to redeem things like Spotify subscription and so? How that started?
So actually, the first reason why I created Resume for Me was out of frustration, kind of a fun fact. Because there are other services than Resume for Me right now that allow people to do what I've been doing since April. As you mentioned, people can buy gift cards right now on Redeem for Me using Nano, which they can basically, of course, gift to someone or use for themselves for services like Spotify, like you mentioned. And this whole idea came out of frustration because I was actually myself a user, a customer from competition at the time. and had a really excruciating user experience with this competition, with high delays, cancelled orders, because I felt like they kind of treated Nano like they would treat Bitcoin or other cryptos with high wait times, and or they did not have a great implementation of the API or the node, whatever, and they didn't see confirmed transaction, whatever, which made it a real hit or miss experience. While all I wanted was to use my Nano, enjoy the instant and feeless properties of the currency, and buy myself a nice thing using this crypto that I bought, or whatever. So the idea came to me that I've been in the space for 5 years almost now, doing other stuff, but developing in the ecosystem has gotten me quite a fair bit of experience in implementing a Nano node and implementing the Nano API. And I thought to myself, why not becoming a real entrepreneur now and kind of implement that service that I've been using and that's been frustrating the way I would want it to be, and dedicate it entirely to Nano and to the awesome properties of the crypto. So that's how Redeem for me originally was created. Why? And goal now is, as I said, to make this experience as smooth as possible, make it actually the way I would love the UX on such a website to be. So no shenanigans. You find the kind of gift cards you want, the brand you want, Amazon, Steam, whatnot, and you just buy it. You buy it. You put your email in, and you get it in your mail after sending the appropriate amount of Nano using your preferred wallet app. And there's actually a button integrated for that. So yeah, basically the goal is for you to spend less than a minute from the moment you get on the shop and the moment you get a gift card for the brand you love, and you can actually make use of your Nano without going through the hassle of going to an exchange, changing the Nano, going back to fiat currency, and actually spend the fiat currency at your brick and mortar shop or whatever. So that's basically the concept behind the Redeem for me.
Well, that's keeping it simple, right? Like, or trying to make it and keep it simple, as you can get off from the customer the need to go to the store physically for things that are basically digital. The gift card, the physical gift card, is just like the container of the data that is, but like located in some database that is online and needs to be accessed by a device that is connected to the internet. So making the service that links the the product with the customer and by instant means, that's very powerful, very powerful in my opinion. And yeah, I think that very amazing thing. Yeah, Forrest, you got any question for Steven and reading for me?
Yeah, of course. I have a question. Sorry, by the way, if my connection kind of cuts out here and there. But I was wondering, actually, could you walk us a little bit through sort of the process of what happens the moment you sort of buy the gift card with Nano? Like, does it first like buy a gift card with the Nano automatically, or do you have those stored somewhere? How does it actually sort of work? Can you explain it a little bit?
Sure. So as you may know, or as you can suppose, selling gift cards is not an activity that brings a lot of money in, as I would say. So the idea was that to make it as low risk as possible for me to launch a startup company, and I have to invest funds to make it run actually, and buying gift cards in advance was not a viable option for me because I didn't want to buy, I don't know, for 10 grand of Amazon gift cards ahead, not being sure I could actually be able to sell them. So the main, how I would say, the main constraint I had was to find partners that would allow me to, as you said, buy a gift card on a per purchase basis. Basically, so when you come to redeem from me, I don't have any gift cards stored whatsoever ahead of your purchase. Whenever you place an order and I receive the Nano, when the transaction is confirmed, I actually will call some endpoint in one of my suppliers' APIs to retrieve a gift card code or link or even image sometime, because some suppliers provide me with physical gift cards actually that I then send to you. So the process is usually less than a minute long. But yeah, I had this constraint to be able to keep things simple and as viable economically for me than for the customers. So I have two constraints: actually being able to find suppliers that provide me with an API to buy one gift card at a time, and doing so without having to, to pay too much fees, because that's actually a problem. If you don't go for wholesale, if you buy if you just go for the retail part of the thing, I don't know how to say that, but if you don't have any stock, you have worse prices than if you just went wholesale. So yeah, these are the two constraints I have with Redeem for me. But the result is that whenever you buy a gift card, I buy it and then send it to you. So it's highly relying on the efficiency of the supplier's API, and that's what I'm focusing on with implementation. Adrian, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're using for your gift card provider. That's kind of why I asked Foss about that too. I'd like to recommend to you to check out, if you haven't already, cow.io. Is G as in gift, C as in cow, O as in Oscar, W as in why? gcow.io. I think they do exactly what you're saying. I use them myself for everything within Bincom and Karma Call. You just have to put in, like, I don't know, $50, $100 or whatever into a cash account with GCow, and then you can buy the gift cards at a discount on a one-off basis. So like I'll buy Starbucks and Amazon gift cards and things like that, and I get, I think about, if it's a $5 gift card, I'll pay about $4.75, $4.85, something like that. So it's a discounted basis. Highly recommend. The guy's pretty. He's a pretty weird guy, but he talks to you really fast on LinkedIn. So like I like him. He moves fast. So I would recommend you check that out just to see if it works for you or not. Thanks.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for the suggestion. Could you send this directly in the chat or DM me so that I can have the contact of the you said it's GCall? I didn't quite get the name.
Yeah. I'll I guess. I don't think there's a chat function here. So
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. And it's actually it was something I was going to get to at a later time in the talk, that I'm actively searching for new suppliers. So as of now, I have 4, and I'm talking to brands directly. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to find more suppliers, and that's exactly what I was going to ask for. So thank you, Adrian, for that.
No, wonderful. Yeah, that's the idea of this platform, to make those to connect those dots and make some good networking on how to make our products and services better. Um, and yeah, it can be very astonishing for people that even if they are like just standing into using cryptocurrency, they see that they can use money, your digital money, in a vast amount of different services and products. It's there is no maybe not some way, not some kind of way, or there are any way that you can like customize the showed articles for the new user, or for example, you always, for instance, shows by service, or giving an example that my own use at the maybe third page of the services, or it is customizable depending if I came back to the website later. There is like some kind of refining of the UX, as you say it. Like, are you like mm, like working on that for the future?
So, what are you asking exactly? Do you want to know if I'm going to implement something that basically remembers what you bought and suggests you to buy more? I didn't quite get the question. Could you repeat that again, please? Or
Yeah, exactly that. Like if you are going to um, yeah, make some data collection about how to get the customer a better experience.
all right. So as of now, and it's at the core of the project, I basically collect only the minimal required info to basically comply with regulation and anti-fraud laws in my country and more globally in the US, in Europe, for example. So what I collect is the IP address of the person that buys something from me and their mail address. It acts both as a way to identify them and a way for me to deliver the order to them after the purchase. So it's been at the core of the project to collect as little information as possible, and I could actually make use of cookies, stuff like that, for you to locally have a customized experience. It's not quite there yet, but what I can just summarize is the country that you chose for the gift cards availability, and something that I've put on hold, but that I'm gonna put again at a later time is memorizing your latest searches and stuff like that, so that yeah, you don't have to basically go through the whole process again of choosing your country, selecting your favorite brand, stuff like that. So it's definitely something considering, but if I do, I want to do it in a private way, and such info will only be stored on the customer's device. I won't actually make use of this data for anything else than actually delivering what you purchased to you.
Okay. Yeah, Foss.
Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly interject with the so with what I'm working on, both block handoff, both a block handoff scheme for like a much more consistent user experience, and then with the authentication scheme, they're very closely related. They're very similar implementation wise, and they're meant to go hand in hand. Um, if you're interested, I can send you the details. If you want to work towards using Nautilus to to log in, essentially, or more accurately, using a signature, um, a signed message using your account. So in effect, your Nano address becomes your account. Is the idea behind it?
That'd be great. Yeah, I've been looking for ways of never actually prompting the user for creating an account or whatever on Redeem. For me, I want it to be completely, well, as private as possible, as regulation forces me basically to make a website. And yeah, Nano address authentication will be actually a great way of doing that. So yeah, definitely. And I'm looking for ways to make the user experience simpler. So yeah, integration with the wallet will be a good way to go too. So yeah.
I'm assuming you do the typical thing of where you when you come for payment, you ask for or you create a new account and then you watch that address for the payment.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So block handoff would change that to be a little bit more predictable than waiting for the transaction to come on change, and it would negate the need for a new address on every transaction, because you would just basically you would just set up an endpoint to listen for a post request from the wallet, and then you wait for that transaction to be confirmed, and that's all you have to do on the back end.
Oh yeah, and that alleviates the need of having side addresses that link back to main accounts and stuff like that, which is the way I've been doing stuff for like 5 years now.
The implementation is backwards compatible. It uses the existing Nano URI structure. It's just an additional field.
That'd be nice. So yeah, definitely we should talk about that. I guess privately, we don't have extensible time right now, but
yeah.
but yeah, of course, yeah. But, well, thank you, Foss, again for the suggestion. I think it's a great thing coming to this space with everyone contributing to the project like that.
Yeah, that's really great to see that you also can help each other in that sense. I was actually wondering where is Redeem for Me located, and does that location make it more difficult to achieve your goals in different regions in the world, basically? Because I can imagine that might be difficult with certain partners, or getting those certain gift cards.
Yep, sure. So Redeem for Me is located in France. I'm French myself. You may have you may recall that by my accent, but whatever. And it definitely made the experience of finding suppliers a bit more complicated outside of Europe. Most of my suppliers are either Europe-based, or have a European branch, so it's easier to deal with them directly, paying in euros and stuff. And right now, I'm in the talks. I'm still under NDA, but I'm in the talk with a big American supplier that will give me access to a huge catalog. But the problem now is funding, because basically to keep well my spendings, like I said, it's always a question of funding, and sending money to the US can be very expensive, especially if you use wire transfer, for example. So it's kind of I'm being kind of pragmatic here. I'm trying to find a way to basically send ACH wire transfers to US suppliers to basically alleviate the need for paying fees, and keep the prices as low as possible on the platform. Because those fees will have to be paid by the end customer. That's not what I want. So yeah, definitely talking with the US suppliers is a bit more complicated, not being a US resident myself. And of course, in other regions of the world that I'm not familiar with, especially South America, Africa, and Asia. Well, it's a bit more of an issue to find suppliers that actually meet all of the requirements I said earlier, and actually be able to deal with them and sending them funds and doing things the right way. So yeah, definitely.
It's actually pretty funny if you think about it. That one of the difficult parts, the issues, is it's difficult to send that money with a low fee to, let's say, the United States, which is exactly the problem that Nano solves, right? Yeah, if only they accepted Nano directly, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, it's why I created Redeem for me. Somewhere it's basically to allow people to not having to go through the hassle of doing that stuff themselves. So I take on all of these complexity and try to basically make that service as simple as possible for end customers. But yeah, it's part of the job to have to take on this complexity and basically try to take down and break down the issues one by one.
Yeah, I see. And how big is Redeem for me now, actually? Like, is it kind of a solo project at the moment, or are you growing in a certain way? And do you have certain plans to grow out Redeem for me?
So right now, I'm the owner and the only developer on all of the projects that I've pushed in the Nano community. I've got some help in the past, and right now I have my significant other doing illustrations and stuff like that. So that's something that's really important for me to have a unique image, and basically having my own identity, because I used to basically go on websites and get royalty free images or stuff like that, or just work with material design icons or stuff of that kind. So having an illustrator full time with me now is kind of a great thing. But yeah, other than that, I'm a lone developer, so I've been trying to extend my team in the past. It's just something that's a bit complicated to coordinate with my own full-time job, and us being in different time zones and whatever. So yeah, I've gone back to being a lone developer, but yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be expanding. My team's gonna expand sometime in the future.
I see, and I'm sure there's always people in the community as well that would love to help out in certain ways. I think that's one of the awesome things about the Nano community is that everyone wants to help out a bit, right? So if you ever need any help, feel free to reach out to people in the community, and I'm sure there's people that will jump to help, basically. So I think that's
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, we have a
Second
perfect
one.
example right now.
Yeah, exactly. Does anyone in the have any questions?
Yeah, very, very good to have these talks on the board. Um, yeah, I was thinking that what you can measure or what I wanna say it in Spanish first. Lo que no puedes medir no existe. So if you can't measure some information, it's like it does not exist for you. And if it does not exist for you, you can't use it. And that the way that you are creating these products is like to give the customer a better experience using the currency, the digital currency, and obviously using your service. So I do like the idea of making your address your account, and that can lead to I think like another shape or slide of the Nano usability. like to have your identity into the network as we have the principal representative and the node owners currently. But what about the users? How about the people that is using the currency in some sort or various wallets or several web wallets or platforms, and that to more giving going beyond the maybe the Natricon idea is like to making a real identity into the network that is free for the use for the person behind the computer to make to decide what how to be um, found in the network and how to form these relationships into our network or money network that basically can define in some aspects how do we live our life. Are we isolated or do we want to connect? And yeah, this is some kind of a space for this kind of sense. Yeah, I think that that's okay for this awesome story too. And if anyone have any question for Steven from reading for, or we can go to the activities moment. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. I have to go for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. But yeah, let's go ahead then with the activities.
Awesome. All right. At this moment, we can start the activities moment. That's kind of redundance. Um, I propose to the attendants, to the guests, and to anyone that hears this recording into the following 72 hours. If you take a paper sheet and write it down, the following quote that is, I use Nano or I use XNO, and you take a picture to that writing and upload it or post it into your Twitter account and tag me, el perfil bajo, I will send you a little piece of Nano for you to play into the ecosystem. And yeah, that's the activity that I propose. If any one of our guests at this episode wants to propose an activity to our attendants and for the community as all, this is the moment.
I've got one.
Okay.
Okay, so I can. I'm trying to see if there's interest in another project of mine. So my activity would be, I have this Google form that I'm going to share. It has like 4 or 5, 6 questions about spam in LinkedIn, Twitter, and Reddit. And when you complete it, you'll get 25 cents worth of Nano. I typically don't say how much it is because that's kind of my little trick. Like I just sort of say, hey, you're gonna get rewarded, but I don't say how much you're gonna get rewarded because I try to like play little games like that. It's just a little thing I'm trying. But I'll tell you now, you'll get 25 cents worth of Nano here. And it's really just like you'll get to see how I can integrate with today's services, like Typeform, Google Form, surveys, emails, whatever. So I'm going to post that. I'm going to share it when I get the chance here, and you'll see it pop up. So that's my proposed activity that we can do at the moment. And I see Foss has his hands up, so I'll let him jump in.
Oh, I just wanted to say the the LinkedIn idea is really good. As someone who also gets a lot of LinkedIn spam, I appreciate it.
Nice, nice. Then I'll love to get your feedback on this thing. Like in the spirit of product-led growth and being sure that there's an audience for what you're building, I just want to be sure there's enough interest in this before I write another line of code. Oh, I see Carl already shared it in the chat. Thank you so much. I suck at Twitter. don't know how to use it that well, so appreciate you helping me post it there. But yeah, it's up there at the top. So yeah, so like I just want to be sure there's an audience before I build anything, and that just helped me focus my time on creating value. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Adrian, for that activity. And yeah, it's basically how to how do we get the best of the tools that we are using. And Twitter is a very powerful tool to get some pre-market information and to make some research about what is the market that we are aiming to work at. Um, yeah, and if anyone else have the idea of an activity.
Yeah. So I have a tweet to send out to just show off the split gift card feature, which is new to the last version, but it got rewritten like twice because it was buggy. But yeah, it works exactly the same as the regular gift cards, but rather than dispensing um, the entire paper wallet balance, it instead sends a split amount, so some fraction of the total balance. And so I've loaded this one up with quite a bit, and I'm gonna send this tweet out now. Also, it works even if you already have Nautilus installed. Just as a heads up.
Oh, wonderful. That's a good call, eh? Yeah, go ahead and try it. It's a good call to install the apps beforehand. These events, these NCIs 3S. So yeah, thank you, Foss. And go ahead, people, don't lose it. Um, yeah, we did. Matthew,
Yeah,
I mean Steven. So
no problem. I was actually thinking of something, but with us coming forward with the gift card idea, I think it will actually match the theme of what I wanted to do. So, as we're kind of new right now, I'd love for our Twitter account to have an audience and get more people to follow us and the exciting stuff we're developing for the website in the near future. And actually, I'd love to maybe go through this new feature of the Nautilus wallet to promote our Twitter account. And I was thinking maybe we can talk about that if I struggle with the thing, but I've checked the UI. It seems pretty straightforward. Anyway, maybe well, I was thinking of if people um, follow our account like in the next 72 hours, as you mentioned. I could basically share with them a gift card made via Nautilus, and they get a chunk of a prize pool, let's say it like that, that I put together on the app. I don't know if that's quite how the function works, but correct me if I'm wrong, first. I guess it's possible for me to set up a prize pool that people can get a chunk of like that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
That'd be cool. I'm actually, yeah, thinking about that. Maybe put together a prize pool of 50 to 100 nano, depending on the people who join in, and people get randomly selected to get a chunk of that, like 1 nano or more. I don't know, but I think that'd be a great way of showcasing this new Nautilus functionality and promote our Twitter account.
awesome.
That's exactly what the feature is meant to do. So it's
Great.
All right, all right. Thank you. Steven. Thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Adrian. Wonderful activities, and come on, don't lose it. Maybe mm, it's a good call to share it, as maybe it can get to more people and into the nano socials to get people be aware of this and to get some prizes and get to know these amazing projects and history that we are getting to know more and better this time. Okay, that say it and that that done. Let's go with our next history, that is Karma Call, and with our guest Adrian. Welcome, Adrian. I would like to start with um, a question that I like to ask. It's like, why Karma Call? Is some sort of I don't know, karmic background, or is something that you like, that way of calling your product?
So I okay, why Karma Call? So I initially started as RoboCash because I you know don't know how to make good names sometimes, so I just say the simplest thing that comes to my head. So RoboCash was the initial name, and then I got into an incubator and had to get ready for equity crowdfunding round. So the equity crowdfund platform made me pay for a pitch deck guy. So I found a guy who charged me like something pretty crazy, something around 5,000 to 7,000 or so to make a good pitch deck. Spent a lot of time with him, and he helped me come up with that name, with the Karma Call name. He's a guy that like did a lot of work for Apple, built apps for Apple, and like was one of the first apps that was featured by Steve Jobs on the Apple iOS store when it first came out. So he had like a bit of history in that kind of like what name speaks to people and speaks to people globally. So he came up with the Karma because everyone in the world knows Karma, and Karma Call because it's just easy to say and it's unique. And so yeah, the Karma concept just comes from like, okay, well, I'm trying to beat this phone spam problem, right? And this app is meant to punish bad callers by making them lose their deposits, right? So just to go over again what Karma Call does, it's will block anyone who's not in your contact list, and you'll get a bit of Nano. You'll get rewarded for blocking that call. But if someone does want to call you, they can deposit 5 cents worth of Nano into your account, and that they just do that by having Nano in their account, right? So when they call you, um, they are depositing 5 cents into your account, and if you answer that call and talk with them for more than 25 seconds, they get a full refund. But if you hang up on them before 25 seconds, you keep their deposit. So in that way, there's a sense of karma there. Like it's bad karma. You were calling me because whatever, and I just for whatever reason don't want to talk. And yeah, so like that's kind of where the karma call comes from. Just karma as in like, hey, this bad spam call problem really sucks, and there's going to be some karma, coming. So I don't know. But yeah, that's Karma Call, and that's like one of the projects I have under the FinCom branch, where FinCom is the financial communication. That's the sort of like I guess you would call it the umbrella company that I'm running. So yeah, that's why Karma Call.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that is very very interesting, and hope to get to know what is to build a company from the scratch, and to get the idea, and to then go and make it an usable product. That's very good. And a good show of entrepreneuring that I see in you, as of asking or guest. Um, I came to know about Karma Call from a paper, from the Twitter account, but I it it got my interest by reading a paper that you posted about the spam calling, and how is this industry being driven. Like, you studied the market, and you found the problem or the causes of the problem of spam callers and spam information at all. I think that you can cover all that part of the information that is driving into the communication ways of our society. And yeah, I think that your approach to the problem was very assertive. Like you went to the solution. And have you um, keep it on publishing some information in that format for the audience?
Uh, so I think you're referring to the Karma Call white paper, and first of all, let me just commend you on how difficult it is. I can tell you have these really elaborate thoughts, but like saying in English, like you're growing up in Colombia. One of my co-founders was Colombian, so like I have a love in my heart for Colombia. Pero qué tan difícil it must be to like go back and forth like that. So thank you for the effort you're putting in. Okay, so the Karma Call white paper. Oh man, that's my favorite. That was my favorite paper that I ever wrote. It's I wrote it like in I think late 2018, and then like published it in 2019 or so. And yeah, that paper definitely is what I would love to do. I would love to write more papers like that, but white papers don't really get mass appeal. They don't you're not gonna build a Uber or a DoorDash or an Airbnb by publishing white papers, right? So you got to get on the ground and build something that people love, and do the kind of marketing that you need to get it to that point. Whether it's viral marketing, whether it's paid marketing, whether it's just like word of mouth marketing, which is what I want to do, word of mouth with FinCom and Karma Call. So like I love writing. I come from a PhD background, and writing is definitely my favorite thing. And when I'm really passionate about a subject, yeah, it comes out. So that Karma Call white paper is definitely I think one of the best papers I've ever written. It's so cool. Anytime I'm sad or like bored or I want to, get super excited, I read that paper and it's so badass. Honestly, it's so freaking cool. I like to stay humble, but with that paper, I'm not going to stay humble. That was a cool paper, and it really definitely showed me as I was writing that paper. It showed me that okay, well, this phone spam call problem is a symptom of something much larger happening in our society, and that is the growth of our human population. It's the access to a global population, of being able to talk to people all around the world, and the availability of great technology that lets you automate messages at scale for very, very low cost. So with that, you get spam. And how do you help businesses, all these new businesses that are popping up every day and every year, all these startups that want to talk to you, that want to get their message out to you because they're building good products and services, but you, as the end user, are so bombarded with spam that you think their messages are spam. So how do you give businesses that power back? And so Karma Call was the first thing I built, which is like, okay, this is the problem that I'm going to start with, and hopefully it gets a little virality and it gets cool, and then I can go and do the FinCom thing where I help businesses reward people to get responses. But then I met a few venture capitalist folks, and they gave me some money for a pre-seed round, and they said, hey, probably going to be better if you focus more on FinCom. So I've been focusing more on FinCom lately, and definitely want to get back to the Karma Call roots, though. That's why I'm talking about that LinkedIn, Twitter, and Reddit question where I can help block DM spam in the same way that I do for Karma Call. But I just really need to make sure there's an audience there before I build anything like that. So yeah, thank you for that compliment. That's definitely one of my favorite papers that I've ever written. And I am going to try to write more because with product-led growth, you have to write digestible pieces of content. I don't think the white paper is digestible. It's 6 or 7 pages and kind of long. People have short attention spans, so I probably going to stick to 1 page to 5 paragraphs kind of writing from here on out, just short form sort of writing. But yeah, I definitely want to get more of that out there, and um, I don't know if I'll be able to do that right this moment because there's a few major events coming up that I'm getting ready for, but we'll see. Definitely riding it near and dear to my heart, though.
Wonderful, wonderful, Adrian. I'm very happy that you enjoy and you feel passionate about driving the about writing the technical justification of your product. And I think that um, doing that, maybe before, maybe after you have worked on a project, and you are building it, can facilitate for the people that can get truly interested in your product to understand why. But because um, as usually is happening in our crypto space in a massified way, it's like you get to know a project by its coin or by its token, and you go to the Reddit subreddit forums, and you go to the Discord forums, and maybe you are just looking the full thing in a compact way of displaying it. And as the documentation of Nano helps people understand what Nano, how to use Nano, how to better participate in the Nano network, it happens the same for Karma Call. So anything that you build upon the paper, name it white paper, yellow paper, blue paper, flash papers these days, you are gonna making easier, you're gonna be making easier the understanding for your customer or for your investor or for your believer. And I think that that's very important, and it it's it gets a lot more easier when you enjoy that doing that, because of course not everyone likes to write a technical paper about all the research that I did, and these are the causes and these are the symptoms, and then let's do this to get a better life. That sounds simple, but in the particular product or the idea, it has its detail, it has its detailing that it's needed to be addressed, and it's needful for products and I think serious companies or ideas to have. Okay. Mm, yeah, Forrest, you have another question for Adrian and Chemical, is it?
Yeah, actually, so as I understand, is Karma called like a part of Fincom, or do they like are they these just two separate companies in a way?
Karma Call is a FinCom product. It runs on FinCom's backend technology. So FinCom itself, you can think of it as a backend that uses Nano, and it's built to connect Nano with emails, phone numbers, social media handles. It's built to connect Nano with any unique ID, and then front ends can be built on top of that. So Karma Call is one of those front ends. FinCom itself is also a front end for businesses. So yeah, Karma Call is a product of FinCom.
Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, I think honestly that it's such a great idea, and I've also seen some YouTube videos of yours where you also kind of mentioned about using Fincom to basically prevent spam or incentivize users or reward users for answering certain sort of spam emails, right? And marketing in that sense. So I think that's really a great idea. Do you have any more plans to integrate FinCom in certain processes in the future?
So many. I mean, yeah, it's just I need to address those new products in an economical way. Economical being, can the new product I build serve a very, very large audience for free or for a very, very low cost, or can that new product serve a very small niche audience but for really high annual contract value, like enterprise size? So either way, there needs to be some sort of economics there for it to make sense for me to put my time and effort and money into it. But one of the things that I'm super excited about potentially building is this LinkedIn spam prevention thing. When I started in 2019, that's when I started the company, and I wrapped up the PhD, said, I hate the job application process. I'm just going to go make my own. And, that's when I started that company, FinCom here. The APIs for LinkedIn, Reddit, and Twitter, they were kind of not easy to understand. And I needed more time to, get my programming skills back up to, you know, standards. And now at this point, I'm pretty freaking great at it. Also the API docs are a lot more open. You can actually, control LinkedIn direct messages. There's like LinkedIn automation tools that will, do LinkedIn marketing on your account. They'll like message people and whatnot. So now that that's open, like it's trivial for me to plug into the LinkedIn API and use, Karma Call for LinkedIn as an actual real product. So again, I need to make sure there's a demand for that first. So yeah, Forrest, if you can chat with George, I want her to like retweet or share one of those posts on her LinkedIn if possible, because it would be just super cool to get the feedback of people she works with. Because I know George told me she gets like 50 LinkedIn messages every day. And people that are high profile influencers, business leaders, they tell me the same thing. So I just need to make sure that there's enough people that will use this if I build it. And so that's what that survey is for. So yeah, I definitely want to build more, but it needs to make sense before I have this habit of building before talking to people. It's a bad habit, and I'm going to break it. So I need to get people on board before I build this next thing. So yeah, definitely have a plan for that. So
Yeah, I think that's really great. And I think, especially with higher profile people on LinkedIn, there's going to be a pretty big audience that wants that product, I think. So I think that's really exciting. So looking forward to that. I'm not this high profile myself yet. Maybe someday, and then I will definitely make sure to
Soon.
use your product.
Yeah, very soon. It's like to being building going building it one glass of water a day. That's maybe a rule to follow to make something better. The building the habit of building. Um, I was thinking on the possible ways to I do like doing I like doing marketing and thinking of Karma Call and the massive and I think nearly unlimited forms of doing spam, not only in our cell phones but in any way of communicate. Maybe if you are standing at your front door and you look to the sky, you see a plane that is carrying a message in a in some sort of colorful way, and it says like something that you needed to know, that you don't need it to know, and you say okay, and you can't do anything about it. You are just getting bombed for all the advertising that is being created by the sole reason of convincing you of spend money or do something. So in a way of maybe using that problem to get a tool for addressing it, maybe doing some sort of was what was done, um, maybe for a not good product that was cigarettes. I saw a video in one of the histories or products or projects that had been discussed here, that was CryptoVision. And at CryptoVision there was like a marathon of I didn't remember the name of the cigarette brand, but I do remember that it was about cigarettes, and it were a lot of videos that were apparently displayed into the TV. And there were a lot of situations that ended up like use the cigarettes. So why not use Carmacol that just display any situation involving spam, and you at the end of the clip you say use Carmacol, and you can one day at time like being creating this consistent way of marketing that at the end of the season and with the right placements, I think that you can get to the masses to know karma call faster, and this can lead to a greater adoption, I suppose. Same for the other histories.
Yeah, the conversation with venture capital and investor, because I'm building in a space that I want to scale fast, and I want to become a multi-billion-dollar company. I want FinCom to add another F in front of that FANG, so there's two S, or so like in order to appeal to that kind of crowd, the consumer side of the consumer products are really really difficult to sell because of all the marketing product, all the marketing costs. Sorry, the marketing cost that goes into it. But that's like one of the reasons I started focusing on FinCom. So like I like what you're saying. I would need a marketing budget to make that happen. And if the story that I'm sort of spinning now for an upcoming potential round that I'm looking at is that FinCom has built this entire rewards engine, and we're using it to create defensive capabilities and offensive capabilities in first party data. So, defense as in karma call to block phone spam call, offense as in FinCom to increase responses by rewarding people. And that's what we're building. We're selling the weapons and the shield of the first party data economy. So if I can spin that story well, then telling the VCs that, hey, if I build these anti-spam applications like Karma Call, and then I market them like that, and if I build these anti-spam applications like for LinkedIn, and people get to know more about that, then they'll be able to. It'll make it easier for me to sell the FinCom side of things, where that's where we make our money. The Karma Call product I consider to be a loss leader, sort of like the cheap thing that everyone knows you for, and I don't mean cheap as in like it's a bad product. I mean cheap as in like it's a free product for everyone to use. So I look at those as like loss leaders, as ways to generate brand awareness. And then the FinCom side is where the corporate gifting market is huge, and that's the market I'm going after. There's $140 billion in that market for customer relationship, customer engagement, customer gifting, and the rewards engine we built is just fantastic to break into that and take a huge chunk of that market. So yeah, that's the conversation that I need to have. And I haven't done any advertising like that for Karma Call, like never. So yeah, I definitely need to put in effort to bring in the funding to make that happen. But there's also little things I can do on the side here and there in the meanwhile. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe think about this. You can leverage on the people that is at the net to get all the marketing assets that you need. For example, you can use like jobs for Nano at Reddit. There is like a board for bounties and to proposing activities to people to do in exchange for Nano. And maybe if you got like one Nano that is just like $1 right now, it can go $40 tomorrow. Who knows? And now it's just $1, and you can like say that you can split that into 1,000 or 100 or anything you want, as long as it's not more that 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 the maximum amount of splits right now. Maybe one row can be $1 in 10 years. Who knows? And thinking about that, you can like say, oh, if you record you a video on a spam calling situation, I will send you some Nano and match 1,000 entries. And people are not gonna be like, oh, I just received it like 1 cent. They are not gonna think it like well, like that. Maybe someone's will, like, I won't waste my time into wherever this it is just for 1 cent, but maybe another one that likes to record videos and are like a super known influencer, we record that, and just for anything you send them, they are gonna do it because they want to do that, this sort of things. And you can like give them the possibility to them to showcase they adding abilities or skills, and maybe you can build some synergy upon that, and you just spend $1. Think about it. You don't need maybe huge amounts of marketing for or funds to build a campaign, that it's just leveraging into the willing of people to help others, and the facility of going one glass of water at a day. You can build huge campaigns, just changing minor things into the basic idea, and it can keep going. But those minor things end up being the major things, because it is the difference each time. So 1,000 histories using karma call. Why not? Mm, yeah. If Forrest or Foss or reading for have any question for Adrian and karma call?
The only question I would like to still ask is, so you have these funding rounds, right? And I know you also got accepted sort of in this, um, yeah, how do you say it? I want to say almost sort of a competition, as I understand it, with like different funding rounds and stuff. What are the next steps in that sense, in like raising funds for FinCom?
So there's two ways to go about this. Like I spent the last week working on a pitch deck, and I hate pitch decks, um, but it's a necessary evil that I'd rather build and build a business and just do that. But like in this case, I actually put a lot of really good effort into this pitch deck, and it's freaking fantastic. I love it. Like the message now is so clear to me. So where we're at right now, we raised a pre-seed round last year of 195,000, and that was at a certain valuation cap. So that was under a safe note. That was from a micro venture capital called Go Ahead Venture. Shout out to TK. And so yeah, we raised that round from them last year, July, end of July. At this point, we're looking to a seed stage, and talking about fundraising. The next fundraising we'd be looking for would be a seed stage round, and that would be I actually I'm not I guess the sort of area I'd be looking for would be somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 million, and for the valuation and stuff like that's up for discussions. But that's for the venture capital side. That's the one thing that I can do, and there's a number of events I'm going to make that happen. I haven't really started making those rounds yet, but I started building relationships in that world, and so that would be the next step. And the second thing is this equity crowdfund that I have going on here. And that's actually something that anyone can jump into. Like anyone with $250 would be able to invest in FinCom and own equity in FinCom and Karma Call. They would be able to like be shareholders under a convertible note. So that's like I kind of I in the beginning I struggled with like how do I make money with an open source thing? I want to be open source and I want to give back to the world, but I also I want to make a lot of money because with the capital behind me I can do great things in the world. So I need to make money somehow. Um, and it always struck me as weird that venture capital could invest, but people that make below $200,000 couldn't. So I never really liked that, and I would like to be able to add in like a round. For each round that I raise from C to Series A to Series, B, if we go that far, would be to add in an ability for everyday people to be able to invest as well. It wouldn't be as large as the 1.5 million. Obviously, it would be something smaller, but to add in that capability so that everyday people could invest along with FinCom and grow with us as we grow and enjoy the exit that can happen in the space. When we're planning again on going all the way to IPO, like that's the only way I really see the thing going. So those are the two options then, Forrest. And then what I've done in the past is like there used to be the Nano community funding. So I think that's how I like got money for my first commercial from the Nano community. That was super cool. I talked with the equity crowdfunding platform too. It's called Title III Funds. So if you look up Title III Funds Karma Call, you'll see our equity crowd fund. And again, anyone in the world can invest $250. That's help out a lot actually. I talked to them about accepting Nano, and this was like a year ago, and I was like, dude, we should totally do it because there's a crazy community and they want to invest in Nano. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll see, and it never got to that. So right now it's just ACH, wire transfers, check. There's no crypto option quite yet, and yeah, I mean, if there's enough demand from the Nano community that like, oh, we'll invest, if you 50,000 or 100,000 or something like that, or then maybe I could convince them to do that. But yeah, so those are the two vehicles for us, just the venture capital, which would be where the majority of the funds come from. And then I personally like doing the equity crowdfunding thing and want to keep that open as well up to the duration of this round. So yep, that answer your
Yeah,
question?
yeah, definitely. And also, like, is Karma Call now, like, or Fincom at the moment also publicly traded somewhere? No, right? It's just via funding rounds in that sense, as I understand.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Oh, sorry about that. So it's not publicly traded at the moment, right? If I understand correctly.
That's correct. It's a privately owned company. Yeah, private credit.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much. I really appreciate those answers.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Wonderful. Yeah, the idea is to build these histories to be huge. Mm, maybe enterprises, the companies, and what else? Anything that can lead to a better quality of life for people, and of course, making capital for keeping doing other things, leveraging on that quality that leads to more welfare of people. Okay, let's call for the MAA moment. And this section of the Nano Community Initiatives 3 stories is basically to let our attendants to raise any question to the speakers, to the main idea of the conversation. If you want to add something, add a word, a mention, or anything you want to say, this is the moment. And by the way, hello to Player Killers Exchange project here. Hello there. Happy to have you here. Okay, Adrian, you have anything to say? Yeah.
Yeah, I was always gonna shout out to Players Killers. What's up? What's up? I love the game. I love the game. It was awesome. Players Killer, NanoQuake, all very inspirational usages of Nano that just opened my eyes. How cool it is in the system. So yeah, just a shout out to Players Killer.
All right, all right. Yeah, Player Killers is a very, very fun game. And NanoQuake too, eh? We can maybe arrange some NanoQuake tournaments or Player Killer Exchange tournament like Deathmatch. And the winner gets a prize or anything. It can be fun. Yeah, anyone wants to raise a question and a talk, a word, this is the moment.
Yeah, I just want to say I have to go now, guys. But I really appreciated all of this. I thought it was great conversation, and it's so awesome to hear all these great services. So thank you very much, and it was an awesome Twitter space. Really nice to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Foss, reading for, no, from the crowd, maybe the killers or ready. Oh yeah, reading for.
No, I was just hoping to get some questions. And again, yeah, I've played Player Killers before, and it was a great experience. So yeah, thank you for developing that. You're one of the most ancient projects in the community, so great to have you here.
Yeah, a lot of feelings playing those games, definitely. Mm, okay, Foss, any? Yeah.
I don't think I've actually heard of this project. But the name Player Killers reminds me of PKers from RuneScape, and I'm not sure if that's related.
Maybe. Okay, maybe that's the background. We could do like anime later. Okay. Mm, so no more questions, I guess, and we can go with the closing. And again, is a good time to thank you for your time to all of you and for your willing to share your amazing histories of creating amazing and wonderful products and ways of people to live better and to have a more comfortable life, and why not uh, earn some bucks in the meantime. That's good. Um, okay, if you want to say anything by as a bye bye, goodbyes message, you
Yeah,
are. Yeah.
oh, I just really want to quickly say to you guys, I'm really looking forward to the London meetups. I hope all of you come as well. I know Fossa is coming, right? I
Hmm.
don't know, Adrian, or is Redeem for Me coming? Player Killer Exchange. Are you guys also going to be there?
Not this time. No. I was there for the last one, but this one won't happen. I'll be cheering you from afar, though.
Awesome.
I'd love to, but I'm one of these extraterrestrial beings that work on August, and I can't make it to London, even though it's not that far away. But yeah, it's a shame. I would have loved to participate.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, really looking forward to it, and maybe then next time you guys are also there, Adrian and Redeem for Me. Um, yeah, really looking forward to the meetup. So
Sure.
yeah, exciting.
Awesome, awesome. Looking forward for the Nano London Meetup 2022. Um, yeah, we will be looking forward for the conversations and all the amazing things that the Nano board have to say about the project and to get to know them and to share with the community. That's what builds rapport at the end of the day, like to getting to know each other and to sharing thoughts and ideas. Wonderful event. Heads up for you and hope you enjoy and build amazing networking there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we can't live stream it, right? Like that would have been awesome as well. But we also kind of want people to come, and if you live stream it, there's obviously also going to be less people actually going to attend in a way. But also just it wouldn't work out as easily to live stream the event. But we're going to record as much as possible, and that will be posted obviously to social media. So looking forward to sharing that with all of you.
Thank you, Forrest. Okay. At this moment, time for a goodbyes. It's sad to end, but we will meet again. Mm, yeah, if you have your goodbye messages, this is the moment to do it. Go ahead.
Adios. Bye bye, everyone. If you have the opportunity to share that Google form anywhere, I would just love that. So appreciate any help you can do there. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.
Well, thank you very much again for having me today on this stream. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff coming on Reading for Me, and not only Reading for Me. I didn't talk the other projects today because it was not the main subject, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff coming on Reading for Me and the other projects I'm working on. So I'm really looking forward to share it with you, and I'll be sure to do that either on Twitter or Reddit, where I'm the most active. So thank you again for having me, and see you later.
I just want to say thanks for having me. It's really great to speak with you all. And stay tuned. There's always more. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you everyone. Thank you all. Thank you Nautilus project. Thank you Reading for Me project, and thank you Karmakal project. Your histories has been amazing to know, and we will share the record soon and hope to see you in the next episodes as participants. We are heading to the episode 7, and let's see which amazing histories we are going to be discussing at here at Twitter Spaces with the Nano community. Thank you again for being here, and see you the next time. Adios. Adios. Bye bye.